Happy Sunday, and I'm wishing you all a good start of the work week. Well, if you have to work, just a good start of the week then. Um, Back at it to discuss the what's happening in the news. It's always interesting to review and talk about it. Um, so let's talk about what I saw was trending in social media yesterday. Every time I looked, it was the same picture of Trump. It said the picture was leaked. Trump with three visitors. There were tall white men with long blonde hair, very pale, and had on like these red, kind of remind me of old-fashioned like soldier military outfits. They were red and then like gold trims in them. Google Trump and Nordic, because a lot of people were speculating that there were Nordic aliens, because they have been having all these UAP video release. The government been releasing all of that after years of denying and saying that people who've seen things in the past were crazy, or they made them out to be crazy, or they destroy their reputations like scientists, and some people go missing because they talk and all of that nonsense that was going on. But now they're actually recognizing. So, and then, there is a Steven Spielberg movie, The Disclosure, about disclosure of all of this that just came out in the theaters this weekend. I got to go see it. I do want to see it, see what that is all about. Anyway, let's get back to these three visitors and these pictures that have been circling. So Nordic. So I've watched a lot of podcasts about UAP history, pyramids, podcasts about UFOs before they were called UAP, um, eyewitness. I've watched a lot of it. And like I said, they usually try to make these people out as being crazy or having a dream or, mentally unstable. But guess what, guys? These people obviously saw something. They didn't know what they saw, and it was unexplained. They couldn't, they didn't know, it's not from our reality. So, a lot of people would say, they would like call them crazy and so forth. But obviously something was going on. So anyway, back to this picture. Everybody's asking, who are these three visitors? All day. And guys, when people have a hard time like believing in aliens and stuff, let's backtrack to the believers, the Christians that believe in the Bible. There's a lot of like amazing stories in the Bible itself that's hard to believe and comprehend. Sound like fairy tales, right? Sound magical, right? Like, the parting of the Red Sea? Um, Moses going up into the mountains, coming back down with the 10 commandments from God, the burning bush that spoke, a lot of the birth of Christ, right? A lot of things that the Bible speak about, it's hard to believe, right? The whale that swallowed, the man. All these things. I have so much things in my head sometimes. It's there, and I'm like a computer. I retrieve it. I hear about it, but I don't dismiss stories. I just store it, and I just like think about it, and then I just need more proof and more information to determine to me if it's real or not. But if you believe in the Bible, then it shouldn't be that hard to believe in an alien. To me, what does the term alien mean to me? Alien means you're not from here. You may not look like us. And I believe if you have watched like a lot of documentary like I have of the different tribes around globally, like the Hopi tribe, they tell you that someone came from the sky god. They talk about the star seeds. They keep telling you that something came from the heavens. Each civilization, they keep referring that something came from the sky, something came from the heaven. They may cannot put it into the words of our language of today, but they're able to put it in their language. They drew on the cave walls, the rocks of what they saw. And a lot of people dismiss it as mythology. But no, this is these people experience. They was really seeing something. They may could not put it in words. If you look at some of those cave drawings, they're drawing vessels. They're drawing whatever they saw came down. And my belief is there's good and evil, and whatever came down interfered. And globally there is the flood. You go civilization, they will tell you a flood happened. Maybe they have a different name for the people who survive or whatever. But clearly there was a flood. And in each, globally, they talk about giants. Some call them Nephilim. Sometimes my tongue get twisted trying to say that word. And obviously something came down, interfered, and it was not good. Came down for resources, came down for whatever. The earth is full of resources, either gold, water, minerals. What came down came for a reason. And it wasn't the true creator. Because they may have had like vessels or advanced technology, these people may have called them gods. And that's where mythology come in, and they talk about the Greek gods and stuff. But I don't think they're mythology. I think what they were seeing, because these people had different abilities or technology, they're telling you what they saw. It's not a story. It's not mythology. These people saw something. And now we're seeing our president talking to people, are asking, who are these people? Are these the Nordic aliens they're talking about? Don't know. But in my opinion, anything that comes down and interferes in a way that they interfere and is perceived to me as evil. Yeah. Move on from that. So today, I believe Sunday, is it the UFC, a fight in front of the wrestling for the 250 anniversary, for Trump's birthday as well. This is for his 80th birthday, so he's making it all about him. When I see the contraption that's in front of the White House, I just see it as a circus atmosphere. And I'm so glad I saw the White House. I think it was last year. Family went to not only that state, Washington, DC, we went to Virginia and Maryland just to see some historical. The contraption in front of the White House is hysterical. But anyway, history. And I'm so glad I saw the White House the way it was before, all of the mayhem and the chaos has happened to it, and the damaging of the structure, the historical structure. So I'm glad I got to see it that way. So, let's see if he has a wonderful birthday. And let's see if this deal with Iran is made, because he promised every week that there's a deal on the way, and nothing happened. So let's see if that materializes. And when I think about Trump's birthday, I always go back. I always think of a birthday that a president probably had a good birthday. Event is JFK, when Marilyn Monroe came and sang "Happy Birthday," to him, all breathy and sexy. That's what I remember. And back then, and all the previous presidents, I think, had more class than what's in the White House now. But that's just me, guys. Personal opinion. If you like what I say, hit like, subscribe. You guys have a good week. Stay safe, and I'll talk to y'all again.